Okay, so what you're saying, people, and welcome back to another video. Now today we've got another live stream for you, and we're going to be looking through the charts. But before we get into that, make sure you follow me on my Telegram channel. I'll left a link to that in the live chat and in the description below. So we post a lot of different trading setups throughout the week, and you don't be missing out on that, so make sure you go check it out. But like I said, we've got another live stream, so I'm going to talk you through what's happening in the charts and see if we've got any opportunities coming up. So I'm going to start with AUD USD. So for this one, see you had a big push to the upside, and we found some strong resistance on the daily time frame here. As you can see, with all those wicks there on the daily chart, came back to test that same area. We wicked into it a couple of times, and we're expecting to see price sell off from there. And you can see we did have some trouble doing that initially. We finally broke through yesterday, and then you can see we're actually looking bullish again for AUD/USD. So it'll be interesting to see if we get back above this same level of support, which will be turned to resistance. As you can see, it was keeping the market moving sideways as we were moving in this range here between that resistance and that support. We're moving sideways. We finally broke below it, but you can see if we break back above, we could be seeing price range a bit, maybe go and test the resistance up there again. But yeah, if we do hold, we could be seeing price sell off and continue back to the downside and hold that resistance. But for now, we are looking quite bullish, and if we close back above, of course, we'll probably see price false breakout from that area and continue to move sideways between that resistance and that support. But again, my bias is still to the downside, but we could be seeing a move to the upside before that happens. Again, if you get another move into that resistance, give us some more price action. That could just be another entry to look for a short trade. But if you do get above this resistance again, we could be seeing price maybe move a little bit higher, because we do have the daily level not too far away up here. So if price does get back above that resistance, we could potentially go and see a nice test of that area up there. But as of yet, we're still holding at this area. As you can see on the daily time frame, few wicks into that area, we had a nice bearish candle on the daily time frame. So the momentum is shifting to the downside from a daily point of view, but 4 hour looks like it could be shifting back to the bullish side. So we'd be interested to see if we do hold at this resistance or not. But again, if you do get back above, we could be seeing another push to go and test the resistance all the way up there. As of yet, no real trade for us for AUD/USD. EUR/USD again still looking bullish. We had some nice resistance above us where we had the initial move to the downside. As you can see here, you got all those wicks around there, resistance, big push to the downside, test it again, big push to the downside, and again we tested it for a third time. So expect to see another push to the downside, and you can see we did, but again, not the strongest moves to the downside. You can see we hit the 200-moving average on the 4H, and from then on we start to reverse and go back to the upside. So USD is looking a little bit bullish now. We did have some strong support going through the market here, keeping us moving sideways. We broke below it. We thought we could be seeing a move to the downside now, but as you can see, we closed back above, and look, we're looking bullish for EUR/USD. So potentially could be getting another test of that area before we see another push to the downside. Again, that's a really nice area to be looking for shorts, really strong daily level. But if we do get above that, again, there's room to go higher. As you can see, we've got wicks all the way up there that price could be wanting to go test before coming back down. So we are coming back to a daily resistance if you go and test this area. So again, that's a great place to look for shorts, but you need to be waiting out for price action confirmation before you can do that. And again, you probably want to be targeting this low here that we previously reversed that, and of course you've got the lows all the way down there. But for now, we are looking bullish, not really interested and looking for buys for USD as of yet. But again, if you do get a move up to there, some bearish price action could be opening up for more sells for EUR/USD. Next, take a look at USD/JPY. Again, push the downside into some previous support in the market. As you can see, resistance there, resistance, support. So back into some support, which we were expecting price to retrace for USD/JPY. As you can see, we did have a really big push to the upside, and you do expect some retrace to be coming into the market from such a big move to the upside. And you can see we did have a nice trend line going through the market. Initial test there, move to the downside, second test there, another move to the downside, and third test there, move to the downside. So currently we're having our fourth, and we're expecting to see price retrace from that trend line a little bit. But we're still probably going to be expecting price to go and eventually break this trend line and go a lot further. And if we do that, we've got the 200-minute average potentially price can go to, and we've got other levels. As you can see, we've got resistance across there, resistance there, and of course we've got resistance all the way up there. So if this trade was trade on the daily chart was to really kick in, we can go a lot further to the upside, but of course we still need to break past that daily trend line. Again, we did pull back into some support there, previous resistance across here, and if you do go and break through that, we do have the daily support all the way down here, which where we had the false breakout from. And if I extend that across, you can see this was our support. Okay, this was our support here, support there, support there, support there. So a very strong area of support in the market, and potentially could be seeing price come to test this area before continuing to the upside. But yeah, again, we are still at a very strong area of support in the market currently. We did get a little bit of a bullish signal there on the 4H, so we could be on our way back up. But again, you have to be careful because you've got the 200 average just above you. So again, that could send price back down. But nonetheless, we're at support, and we could be seeing another push to the upside for USD/JPY, as our bias is still to the upside for from the daily time frame. But be interesting to see if you do get another push to the upside before price and goes and breaks that trend line. GPUSD, I'm currently in a short trade for this one. We did have a channel in the market, which we just recently had a third test of, as you can see there. And we've got this lower trend line as well. So again, initially a test there, second there, and then we had a third test of that trend line. I went short some bearish price action, and you see a nice move to the downside, but price has found support and recently had a push to the upside. So I've taken some profit from this one because we are looking quite bullish on the 4-hourly chart. But again, I'll still be holding my remaining position to see what happens here. There is room for us to move to the downside. Of course, you can see we can potentially get a test of the lower trend line all the way down there. And of course, we got some previous areas of resistance. As you can see, resistance, resistance, resistance. So again, we could move into again, test that area again. But nonetheless, price action is telling me that we are looking bullish, and we could easily get a push back to the upside. Then we go and get a double top or test the trend line again. So I took most of my profit, and you're going to see how the rest runs for GPUSD. If we do get a move to the trend line again, that could be a really nice move for GPUSD. In that case, you can go a lot further. You break through the channel to the downside. Of course, there's support all along there. Potentially price could go head to, and of course we've got the support all the way down there for GPUSD. Price could potentially head to, but of course you need to get the move to the trend line first. We're interested to see if we can get that with the bullishness coming back into the market now. But again, if price does turn around, we've got a lot of room for us to move to the downside for GPUSD. AUD/JPY came and tested a really strong area of resistance on the daily chart, and from then had a big move to the downside. You can see this is the daily chart here. If I draw the level in, you can see why we had that move. Again, really strong level through the market here. Previous resistance there, push the downside. Resistance there again, push the downside. Resistance there again, push the downside. Then acting as support, push up. Price fell back in. Then again, acting as resistance. And now acting as resistance again. So a really strong key level in the market going through AUD/JPY there. So it was either we got above that or we were to break it, get above that, or we're looking to hold. And you can see with that bearish candle there, it is showing signs that we are holding at that level on the daily chart, and could easily see another swing to the downside. And eventually go and test the 200-moving average or go test the lows previously made by price down there. So there's a lot of room to the downside since we're testing a key level in the market, and you can see the moves that we've been getting from this key level. However, if price goes back above, we could look to hold and potentially move to the upside. But last time we did that, we did have a false breakout here. As you can see, resistance, resistance, then acted as support, but failed to continue higher, and just rolled over and came back in. So again, really strong area of resistance. If we do hold, we can easily see a swing to the downside. You can see in the 4H again, we'll start to look bullish a little bit with the price action coming back into the market, but it could be getting another test before price falls back over. So again, bias is to the downside since I don't want to be buying towards that daily resistance there. Potentially if price was to break through it, then resume off it, then you can probably look to buy it, but I wouldn't be looking to buy it at the market now as it is. If you do get another push into the resistance and then get some more bearish price action come back in, again, could be looking to go short again. But as of yet, we are looking bullish, so I won't be able to be getting into the market as of yet. Next one, take a look at EUR/GBP. EUR/GBP had a big push to the upside yesterday, and you can see why we had a really nice test of this key level through the market here. As you can see, on the daily time frame, we have a nice area of resistance there, support there, support there again. Big move to the upside from that same support level. Now we're testing that same area of support again yesterday, actually no, 2 days ago. So you can see nice test of that area of support, very strong area of support on the daily time frame. So again, you do expect to see price have reaction from that. As you can see, we did have a big push to the upside from that same area. So again, you can see really big push. Again, you start to see some retrace going back to the market with those bearish candles. My bias is probably still to the upside for Euro GBP to continue higher. Obviously, we did have a big push, so you can see a retrace happen first. There's many levels price could potentially do that. As you can see, we got support going through the market there. We had that wick candle there as price found some resistance. So again, could see price maybe fall a little bit further, pull into this support area, then continue higher to the upside. So yeah, my bias is to the upside. If price was to come all the way back down and go and test the lows of the support here, again, that could be really nice to get back into some buys, because you'd be buying from a really nice daily key level. But yeah, my bias is to the upside and could be seeing some pullbacks first before we would be seeing Euro GBP continue higher. So we'll be watching out for that. Next, I'm going to take a look at NZD USD. The NZD USD bias to this one is to the downside as well. From a daily point of view, we do have this channel going through the market. We've got our lower trend line there, and we've got our upper trend line here. And you can see we didn't quite get a test of the upper trend line, but nonetheless, we are in a nice area where potentially could look to fall and look to reverse back to the downside. So you can see we're in that area of the upper trend line. Could easily see another push back to the downside to go and test the lower trend line there. And you see with the nice price action on the 4 hourly as well. We did have a nice engulfing candle. Price found some resistance there, and from then on we just had a nice sell-off in the market. So again, biases to the downside for this one. Could just slowly see price make its way to the downside, and if that does happen, we can go and test the lows of the trend line all the way down there. There's a lot of room to move to the downside. It would be nice if you get price maybe push back up to go test the resistance again. You can look to get back into the market there and look for shorts as well. Probably have a double top on our hands. But yeah, expecting price to continue to the downside, but again, could be seeing those pullbacks happen first before that looks to continue. GBP/JPY, big push to the downside recently, as you can see on the daily time frame with those candles. But early today, we're looking bullish as well with the 10 o'clock close of that 4H time frame. We did come up to a very strong area of resistance in the market. As you can see on the daily time frame here, we have previous resistance here, really big move to the downside. Again, acting as a resistance there, price got back above, false breakout, comes back below, retest that same area of resistance, could easily see price give us another move to the downside. However, we did come up against some strong support in the market. As you can see here, resistance here on the daily time frame, now acting as support. So for GBP/JPY, for this to continue lower, we really need to see price break below this support level in the market. As you can see, it was acting as resistance quite well. So again, we can easily see price maybe hold at that support and give us another move back into that resistance, and see price range a bit before it breaks to the upside or breaks to the downside. But again, we are testing a key level in the market, and as you can see in the 4H, we got that strong bullish candle to the upside. So you can see why we're getting that candle, because we're coming from that strong key level in the market. But bias is still to the downside for this to continue a lot further, just because of the strength of that resistance there. We'll potentially go and test some lower trend line in the market. As you can see, initial test there, second there, third there. Could be seeing a full test of that trend line, or potentially price coming all back to the lows all the way down there for GBP/JPY. So that's more of a long-term target, but again, starting to look bullish on the 4H. So could see price mess around a little bit, maybe go up slightly higher, find some resistance before it comes back down. Yeah, we're still looking for shorts for GBP/JPY, and if we were to get a move back to the resistance again, we'll be looking to stick some shorts on for GBP/JPY. Next, we look at NZD/JPY. Okay, so for this one, again, similar to NZD/USD, we had a push to the downside recently. As you can see, found some resistance up there in the 4H, and from then a really nice sell-off to the downside. So we did have a ranging pattern going on for NZD/JPY for quite a while. As you can see, you got support all the way down there, and we've got resistance down there. So if price breaks back into this area of resistance for NZD/JPY, could be seeing a false breakout and see another swing to the downside for NZD/JPY. But this area will be acting as support, so it's going to be obviously a task for NZD/JPY to break below this level, because they will be acting as support now. Previous resistance all along here will be turned support, so potentially could see price resume and continue higher. But if you do break back in, again, that will become resistance again, and we can easily see a false breakout and price continue back to the downside, potentially go and test the lows all the way down there. So that's still a possibility for NZJPY, and we'll be watching out for that. You can see the current price action is turning a little bit bullish, and you can see why, because of the support area in the daily time frame. But nonetheless, we'll probably do a pullback anyway because of those 4 consecutive bear candles that we just had there. So could be seeing a pullback and price catching people on the wrong side of the market and then continue to the downside, give us a bit of a false breakout and see a nice swing to the downside. So that's what I'm probably favouring for NZJPY. But then again, we could easily just resume off that support and continue higher. And if you're going to take out this previous high up there, then we could probably say, yeah, we could continue higher for NZJPY. But for me, potentially price could come up here, double top again, and see price sell off again. So I'm only looking for shorts as this moment for NZJPY, but I won't be shorting into that daily support of where we are right now. Probably want the price to go higher first before I get back into the market on the 4-hourly time frame. Next, we're going to take a look at Euro NZD. Euro NZD is looking bullish again. You can see that on the daily chart there. We had a test of, well, we had a break of this level in the market here. You can see previous support there again, break to the downside, catch people on the wrong side of the market there, and you can see we close back inside of that same support area. So if essentially we just had a false breakout again, so you can see closing back below, next candle closes back above, giving us a false breakout, and we could be seeing a nice move to the upside for Euro NZD as well. From a daily point of view, we are starting to look bullish as well, and you can see we do have previous support going through the market here, so support there, could be seeing a move to go and test that area. Of course, we've got some areas higher than that. We've got price resistance up there, and of course you've got resistance all up there, so could be seeing some strength from Euro NZD and a nice push to the upside. Again, first target will probably be that area of support term resistance up there. Could be seeing price maybe fall back a little bit, retrace and back into that support and then continue higher. That's the case. Could be looking to get back in market on the buys on the retrace there and wait for some bullish price action to trigger an entry, but could be seeing some retrace first before that goes higher. So again, could be opening some opportunities to go long for NZD. As you can see, all this area in the market will be turn support again, and could easily see price come back and retest it before that continues. So we'll be looking out for that, but going to be expecting Euro NZD to continue to the upside. GP CAD, this one again not really the cleanest. The market got a big push to the downside, and from then on we've just been looking quite messy. So this could just be a pullback from that big push to the downside and see price continue. We do have a little bit of a channel going through the market on the lower time frames, the 4H, as you can see. Connect the wicks there, and I'll connect the wicks higher up here. So of course we've got the highs and the lows of the trend line now. Initial test there, second test there, third test there. We've got first test there for that wick, second test there, and the third test of the upper trend line. So again, we can see we're coming up to the highs of the channel, so naturally you're going to expect the swing to the downside for this one. We are testing some previous resistance in the market. As you can see, as I highlighted there, resistance there, push the downside, resistance there, push the downside, resistance and resistance there again. So could be seeing a push to downside from this area. You can see price is really respecting this area of resistance and is struggling to break it, so it could easily see price sell off. We are at the near the upper trend line as well, so naturally we'll be looking for sales in this area. And of course we can see a nice swing to the downside, potentially go and test this trend line again for a fourth time, and if we do that again, we've got potential to go and break the trend line as well. As you can see on the daytime frame, we had a big push to the downside, so this could be a pullback. We could be seeing a nice move to the downside, go and break through the trend line, potentially go and test the support all the way down there. As you can see, support there, support there, support there again. Potentially could see price break through the trend line and go and test this area of daily support. So that is what I'm probably favouring right now for GP CAD. Obviously you can still move higher if you do clear through the resistance and clear through the channel. There's potential to the upside for GP CAD. As you can see on the daily time frame, we've got resistance all the way up here and resistance all the way up here. That price could potentially want to head to, but of course you need to break through that resistance first and break through the trend line there. And as long as we stay underneath that resistance or underneath the trend line, we'll only be looking for shorts for GP CAD and looking for a swing to the downside. Again, potentially could be seeing price come to the lows of the trend line all the way down there, or potentially see price go a lot further and go and test the daily support at the bottom of the channel down here. And you can see test there, second test there, third test there. So price could be looking to head to that area. Next, we'll take a look at USD-CHF. Now USD-CHF, big push to the upside recently, similar to USD-JPY. As you can see, really big push, no retrace, and price went to go and test a trend line on the 4 hourly. As you can see, initial test there, big swing to the downside, creating a lower low. Another test that same trend line, again big swing to the downside, create a lower low. Then from then we had a massive push to the upside, and we went to go and test that same trend line again. You can see we did get a false breakout out of this level here in the market. If I use the line here, so you can see we've got support there, price closed below, catch people on the wrong side. Then from there we can see a big push to the upside from that false breakout there, catch people on the wrong side, and a big push to go and test that trend line. So again, from a daily point of view, you can see where we are in the market here. We're quite at the lows of price here. This is the daily time frame. We had a really long trend to the downside. So again, we're probably expecting some counter trend moves and maybe go and test the 200-moving average, which is not too far away up there. And of course, we've got some support going through the market here as well. We've got support there will be time resistance. So could be seeing a move to go and test that area in the market. Of course, that's more of a long-term point of view from a daily time frame. But for H, we are at some resistance, so price will have a tough time moving higher. So maybe could see price fall off a little bit more, retrace a little bit more before that continues. But biases to the upside for USD-CHF, and we could be seeing a nice break of the trend line soon, and price really starts to kick into the upside. So currently I'm only in my GPUSD and looking for price to continue to the downside. You can see we are looking a little bit bullish with the 10 a.m. close. We've got the hourly chart there looking quite bullish as well. We want to go and test the 200-moving average on the hourly chart there. But nonetheless, we'll be holding on to the remaining position that I have open and looking for price to continue to the downside. Again, initial target was to go and test this area in the market here. Got resistance there, resistance there again. So we'll be acting as support. So you can see we didn't quite get to that area. We missed it by a little bit, but then we did get that bullishness come back into the market. So we could see price continue higher, maybe go and test the trend line again, or maybe test some previous resistance. And that's the case, probably look to exit my position if we do that. But got some remaining positions open and expecting a swing to the downside to go and test that key level in the market there. And if you go and break through that, of course, you've got a lot more room. Got the trend line moving through the market there. Initial test there, second there, could be seeing a third test of that trend line. So we'll be looking at this GPUSD position throughout the live stream. And if anyone wants me to look at any different charts, any different pairs, just put it in the live chat and I'll make sure I'll go and analyze the markets for you. But yeah, just be looking how that GPUSD trade gets on. I will be keeping my eye out on for other pairs as well. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look at USD JPY on the 15-minute chart. Okay. Okay, so from a higher time frame point of view first, from like the 4 hour and daily, I'm probably expecting a push to the upside. You can see we do have a really strong level going through the market here. You've got resistance there, support, support, resistance, resistance, support, support. So again, we're at a really key level going through the market and potentially could be seeing a move to the upside. And you can see we did have a big move, so this could just be retraced for price to go higher. So bearing that in mind, from the higher time frames, you go to the 15-minute. You can see that we are testing some previous support in the market. As you can see here, if I bring this level across, so again, you can see nice support area there, big push the upside, and again, we're testing that same area right now. So for me, I'm probably more biased to the upside on the 15-minute chart for USDJPY. We're approaching some previous resistance. You can see we did have a push from it. Obviously not as high as we previously did. We could be on our way back down to go and test that resistance again. We do have a downtrend in the market. I think we do have a little bit of a trend line going on as well. As you can see, test there, test there, test there, and test there as well. So you can see we do have a bit of a downtrend, but it just depends which way price wants to break out of this resistance from. You've got the resistance from the trend line, and of course you've got the support from that level just underneath price. So price could just be could be stuck between the support level and the resistance line. So if you do break out that trend line, we can see price potentially start to kick in to the upside in the higher time frames, take control again, and that way you can easily see a swing to the upside, go and take out the highs all the way up here. Again, but first we need to see a break of that trend line first, but we could be on our way back down to test the support area. And if I was on the 15-minute chart, I'm probably looking for buys for this time frame, as long as we stay above this support level in the market. As you can see, a nice strong support level in the 15-minute chart, and as I just showed you, also in the higher time frames as well. So I'll be looking for buys for USDJPY personally. Again, we do have a support area there, so price was to go a little bit more to the downside. Again, get some nice bullish price action around there. Again, I'll be looking to buy the market from this level, and potentially got the resistance as well. So if we get above that, again, that can mean potentially you can go further to the upside. If you do have another move to the trend line, get some more bearish price action, then maybe you can look for some shorts. Maybe you're looking to target the lows back here again. But if you do break through this, again, there's a lot more room to move to the downside. As you can see on the hourly chart, if you break through that level, there's a lot more room to move to the downside. But as long as we stay above that level on the hourly and the 15-minute as well, I'll probably be favouring a swing to the upside personally, just because the higher time frames can easily just come back into the market and control this and just swing it to the upside. So obviously, if you still stay above this area, that will be acting as support, but if you do break above, it will be acting as resistance. So you need to be careful of that. But yeah, biases to the upside for USDJPY even on the 15-minute chart. But again, there's a little bit of room to move to the downside, and you can look for buys at the support area down there. So that's my analysis on USDJPY. But then again, we do have that trend line, and if you do stay below it again, you easily come up for a test and see price come back into that same support. But if you do break through it, again, there's a lot more potential to the upside for USDJPY, as the higher time frames could be coming into the market. So that is my analysis on the 15-minute chart for USDJPY. So I hope that helped. Okay, so going to look to end the live stream in a second, but quickly going to do a rundown of the chart, see what's happening since I last spoke. Okay, so for AUD/USD, you can see we're starting to pull back now. We did have some previous support going through the market here. As you can see, support there with all these wicks, and we finally broke below it. And then we could say we're going to get that longer move to the downside now. But you can see we did look bullish a bit earlier on for that 10 a.m. close, so potentially could be seeing price break back in and just be a forced breakout. But you can see we are starting to pull back now with a wick to the upside there. And you can see on the hourly we're starting to look bearish again, so we could see price just retesting that in order to continue back to the downside. That is still a situation, but if you do close back above, again we're probably still stuck in that range. Maybe price is coming back to test the highs up there. For USD, again starting to pull back as well. You can see on the hourly chart starting to get a little bit bearish. Again, still looking for the sells for this one. If we climb higher to go and test that resistance, that could also open up some opportunities to sell. Potentially like a double top scenario. Test it once, come test it again, and then fall to the downside. And then our targets will be originally this low here, and then potentially could be aiming a lot lower all the way down to the lows down there. So biases to the downside for USD, but there is a bit of room to move to the upside, so you need to be wary of that. USD/JPY, again biases still to the upside for this one long term. You can see we had a nice support here on the daily chart there, test there, test there, test there, broke below it, forced breakout, broke back above. Now they're reacting as support, so again potentially looking for a nice push to the upside. But again, we do have this trend line running through the market on the daily time frame. Initial test there, second there, third test there, having a fourth right there, and you can see prices getting rejected from that area in the market. So we could be seeing a deeper pullback. We are coming back into this same support in the market, previous resistance there, support there, support there, support there. So again, we're coming back into that area in the market. We could potentially see price continue higher, but if we don't and we see price break out of that area, break through that support, and could potentially be seeing price come a lot lower, go and test the lows of this daily support here on the daily time frame, which again could be a nice base to get back into some buying in the market there. And again, probably expecting a break of that daily trend line eventually. GBP/USD, I'm currently in a short trade for this one. As you can see, we had a nice push to the downside, but then early this morning we're looking a little bit bullish. You can see with that 10 a.m. close, very strong candle to the upside. Hourly was starting to turn around a little bit bearish as well, but you can see we need a bit more bearishness to come back in the 4 hour for this one to start really moving to the downside again. Again, I've still got some positions open for this one and just looking to see where it goes. Again, I did have my original target down there. We didn't quite reach that. You can see we just reversed just before it, so potentially could see price maybe roll over and go and test it now. After that, and that'll probably be happening for next week. And then of course we do have a lot more room to move to the downside. We do have this trend line going for the market there. As you can see, a couple tests there, test there. Could be seeing another test there of the trend line if we're to continue to the downside. So yeah, there is a possibility to move a lot lower. So we'll be seeing how this trade plays out. Next, we'll take a look at Euro/JPY. Euro/JPY seems to be slowly moving to the downside. We did come to test some previous strong daily level in the market. I can highlight it here. You can see previous support for us there in the market, support for us there again on the daily time frame. Now resistance, resistance, and also resistance there. So you can see prices slowly pushing to the downside, not really with as much momentum as you'd like to see for Euro/JPY. Probably to see a bit more a stronger move to the downside. So could be seeing maybe price push back up, but back to that resistance again, and then maybe look to sell off again. Again, potentially double top going on there, but we'll see slowly leaking to the downside. Bias is to the downside as long as we stay below that daily resistance. So yeah, again, look for the shorts, but for me, this is not moving the best, so won't be looking to get into any Euro/JPY trades at the moment. As the USD, see for this one, still expecting a swing to the downside. We've got this channel running through the daily chart. Got the highs up there, got the lows up there. Again, we didn't quite test the upper trend line, but nonetheless, we're still expecting a swing to the downside now. Come up to a very strong area of resistance in the market. And you can see in the 4 hourly, we found some resistance up there. And just from then on, we had a nice sell up to the downside. So again, expecting this to continue, but we could be seeing those pullbacks coming back into the market before price continues a lot lower. But again, we could potentially see a move to go and test the lows of this trend line, and if price breaks through that, we've got the lows previously here, as you see, support along there. We've got the 200 moving average as well, so there's a lot of room to move to the downside for NZD/USD. Again, you can see we're kind of just starting that move around now on the 4H, and obviously on the daily chart as well, we've got that bearish candle coming back into play at that upper trend line. So could be seeing a longer move to the downside for NZD USD, so we'll be aware of that happening. UCCHF, again from a daily point of view, we're at the lows of this bearish trend that we had in the market. As you can see, really long trend to the downside, again expecting a counter move to the upside there. And you can see we did have that strong daily support there in the market, a little bit of a false breakout, which gave us the move to the upside. Currently testing this trend line here in the market. You can see in the 4H, we got resistance there, push the downside, create a lower low, test the resistance again, lower low, and now back at that same area. So potentially could be seeing price sell off again before we go and break it, or maybe price just finding some support. You can see we're at that 200 moving average. Price is looking like it's found some support, and that could give it the momentum needed to come and break through the trend line and continue higher, because from a daily point of view, we got a lot of room to move to the upside. You can see you've got the highs up here, previous resistance up there, and of course we got some support along the market through here. So you can see support there, and of course got the 200 moving average there. Price could be looking to get attracted to, so there's potential to move to the upside, but you can see we're moving a little bit sideways, and price is probably looking for a pullback from that strong move to the upside. So currently only in GP USD as of yet. I'm going to see how that trade plays out, and if we can see a move to the lows of that trend line, or probably at least the resistance just above here, which will be turn support. So we'll be seeing how the remaining positions go for GBUSD, and probably will be through the weekend again till next week as well, where I'll be updating you on how the trade is going. So that is the end of the live stream. I hope you all enjoyed it and found it useful. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also leave a like on the video, and make sure you join me on my Telegram channel. I left a link to that in the live chat and also the description below, where I post different trading setups throughout the week, and you don't want to be missing out on that, so make sure you go check it out. But like I said, it's the end of the live stream. I hope you all enjoyed it, and until the next one, I'll see you later.